And we're back with more of Super Adventure Island 2, where in the last episode we defeated the turtle at Boa Boa Island. So now what we ought to do is make our way over to Puka Puka Island, which is going to be the next island. And one thing I do like about this particular setup is that the game does open up a little bit more. And that's one thing I do like about this game, is that the game gets a little bit more opened up piece by piece. And it at least keeps it from getting too big too early or too big too fast. One of those two. But either way, now that we unlock the gate to get into Puka Puka Island, we gotta take care of a few things first. And the biggest one is that we do have to get the shovel. And then the second one's to get the downward jab. And see, oh right, there's a hot spring just in case you want one. Either way, that desert island we're going around, that's actually a pretty fun level. Even though, if I had to say with a straight face, that might actually be my favorite level in the game. But that's one we'll get to pretty soon. And right now, the random encounters just won't go away. Especially getting bombs dropped on my face. Not a good thing. And yeah, either way, I am doing this post-commentary again, just because my footage keeps getting corrupted, and I think what I have to do is I have to record my Audacity files on a different drive, because I'm not really sure if the new computer is really meant for this particular drive, or this particular portable drive. But either way, we're here with another mini-boss, and this is some wolf thing. Overall, he's not really too challenging. I mean, all you have to worry about is just him jumping on you. Also, this guy takes a ton of hits to die. I have no idea why. But anyway, there we got the power fan, and what the power fan's gonna do is that's gonna give us access to Puka Puka Island by taking out like some rocks or something. I forget. And now that we got this, we got ourselves a shovel. And the shovel's always gonna be good for getting rid of those patches of dirt that we were faced with a lot of times. And then, of course, this thing requires you to strip down to the bare essentials here, just to deal with, or just to be able to use the dang thing. But either way, yeah, I mean, the shovel is pretty useful for exploring, but I mean, it has its ability to kill minor enemies, but that's really about it. But I mean, it's more or less the way you're gonna find the rest of the stuff in this game. And that is one thing we are going to be doing after we get the downward jab, is just taking a little redirect just to find everything that we can. And this is going to include a lot more magic bottles, some life bottles, and then actually a few more warps too. And then of course here I actually have to be careful just because I'm kind of dying here. And yeah, I kind of recorded this on a Saturday night, but the commentary itself was pretty interesting, but then again, I can't really access it anymore. So, what are you gonna do? And then, of course, we find Puka Puka Island, and fortunately, the island itself isn't really that hard to get around, but it does take a lot of practice reps just to know where everything is. Of course, I did spend a lot of time lost just trying to get to this one power-up I thought was in Puka Puka Island, but then it wasn't. I'll actually elaborate more on that one in the next episode and the episode after that. But either way, now that we eventually get to this area, or get to this section, yeah, I mean, once we eventually get there, we end up learning the downward jab. And the down jab is going to be really useful because we can finally break those blocks with the down arrow. Also, it's a really nifty way to kill enemies. And then probably my favorite thing involves bouncing off enemies, and then just eventually just bouncing off them until they die. And once again, there are more Zelda 2 comparisons to be had, but then again, that's just kind of the way this game is. So yeah, I mean, that's what we did. So yeah, see, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna backtrack over to Puka Puka Island just to get to some more stuff. Anyway, back here, at the beginning there was that patch of dirt that we couldn't do anything about. And then I'll just get to it pretty soon. Yeah, see this patch of dirt right here. And then, what we can do is just dig. And then, of course, we can just make that joke with, how are we gonna get out of here? We'll dig our way out. Actually, you know what? I think I might name that this episode. Or name the episode, We'll Dig Our Way Out. Either this one or the next one. I forget which one. But either way, I'll figure that out pretty soon. But here on Poka Poka Island, we got ourselves the fireballs, and this thing works pretty similarly to the fire shield from Castlevania Circle of the Moon, and I mean, it's not really as powerful, but then again, it can have its moments when it comes to fending off flying enemies, and, you know, at least ones that die quickly. Especially the ones you don't see coming, like those birds. That's like pretty useful against those birds. And of course, that's also useful just to do that. So all we gotta do is just dig our way down one more time. And then of course we get to whack a pig with a shovel, just cause we can. So either way, all we're doing here is just finding another warp. And I think that warp goes from Pucka Puck Island, but don't quote me on that one. Of course I do end up finding that warp again. So, I mean, I'll just show it off when the time comes. But now what we're gonna do is just warp our way back to the beginning. And of course it would help if I can click on the right thing. But yeah, that took me a while. Then again, I did mention I was drinking during that Saturday night. Oh well, I'm sure we've all done that before. Let's see, I kind of forgot what I was doing here. So either way, back in Boa Boa Island, let's see, what we're doing is that, we're just going down here and then picking up one other thing. There is another warp we can access here. But, I mean, outside of that, that's really about it. And then, of course, more of me getting lost. And then with that third magic bottle, we can also show off the time spell. And then you can freeze enemies in place, so that's cool. And then, of course, you get access to this thing, too. So this is a little bit closer to the entrance of the stage. You can get access here, and then we find ourselves into another warp. And I think this one goes to Hiya Hiya Island. So what we're doing is just doing that. And yeah, pretty much all I'm doing for this particular episode was that I'm just getting a bunch of stuff. And I thought about doing 2 episodes at one, or doing this whole thing at once, and then doing this, and then going through all of Pucka Puck Island, but then I looked at the overall time on the episode, it was about 40 minutes, so I decided to split it in half. So then this one's gonna be about, I think it was 30 minutes. So it's gonna be like probably 11 and 19. And now that we got ourselves a 4th magic bottle, we unlocked the, let's see, the wing spell. And that is something I still need to figure out how to show off, I'll be honest with you. But either way, we have all the fire stuff up and running, so fortunately that's going to make things a little bit easier. Of course, once we're done with the gambling episode and I get to show off all the light equipment, that's definitely something that's going to be fun. I don't know if I'm going to play with the light equipment just yet, but I think what I might do is just play through it legitimately with the regular equipment, and then just beat the game once with the power equipment. I mean the light equipment. But either way, all I did there was just backtrack a little bit. No big deal. So either way, what we're doing here is just getting access to another warp by just jabbing these blocks. And then this thing's actually kind of tricky to get the timing right. Of course, it doesn't help when you get ambushed by off-screen snowballs. But either way, that's actually where we find the shrine. And then there's another warp there. I think that one's from Pucka Pucka Island, but don't really quote me on that one. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for this episode. So all I'm gonna do is just warp to the beginning. And then I will see you next time for Pucka Pucka Island.